It's the franchise. I'll tell you that much.
Informative, episode 106. Welcome, everybody.
What's your name?
I go by the name Henry Danger. What's your name, buddy?
Harvey Danger. We're brothers. We wrote that song, Flagpole Sitta. And here we are. No, I'm Daniel Ehrenberg, MC Daniel Ehrenberg to my homies. And I'm here going to record an episode about Brad Bird's animated series, The Incredibles.
Yes.
That's what we're going to talk about.
In which, again, we ventured to the theater.
Yeah, we saw The Incredibles 2 in theaters. I have a lot to say about my theater experience. And as
always, very excited about that. I don't have much on my side as usual. I will say it's probably the first kids movie I've seen in a theater in about 15 years.
Henry, I always forget. Every time I go see a kids movie in theaters, I get into the theater before I'm reminded, oh, right, there's going to be kids here.
I had the exact same feeling.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally didn't occur to me till I got there. Yep.
Keep them home.
Yeah.
I feel like parents...
Look, keep the babies home.
Parents shouldn't tell their kids that there's a public forum where they can see movies.
That is
they
a
should
really good idea.
pretend that it's only a home thing.
That is a brilliant idea.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, kids are dumb. They don't know.
They'll stop making kids movies, though.
I don't think that's true. You think?
I think it'll become less big business.
Yeah.
We'll talk about The Incredibles 2's box office grosses.
Okay.
Oh, my God. All right. But before we do that, let's talk about these... Oh! I was supposed to rank the Pixar movies.
Dan really on top of his game.
I started a new job, gang.
Congrats.
Today.
Little hand here.
Thank you. And I'm tired and I forgot to do stuff for the show. All right? Mm-hmm. Listen, here's what we're going to do, though.
Here we go.
I'm going to take a break right now. When I come back, I'm going to have a Pixar list for you.
We'll be back.
All right. 3. And just like that, gang, I've ranked the Pixar movies.
That was incredible, dude.
Wow.
Were you on a primer? Holy shit.
Primer. An apparently good movie.
Going to be coming up again today.
Is it? Okay, well, let's talk about The Incredibles. This film, it's the rare animation auteur, Henry.
Yeah, and our first animated coverage.
That's true. Well, not true. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. All right?
Right, that's true. Good. That's actually a very good point.
So Brad Bird comes to us from the world of animation. He worked on The Simpsons for many years. He co-created Family Dog with Tim Burton, which was a cartoon I watched in the 90s. I own it on VHS.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, he got his start as an auteur pre-Incredibles with The Iron Giant, which was a much-loved film.
I saw it.
Yep, it's great.
It was great.
Yep, featuring Hunter College alum Vin Diesel. And that movie came out, everyone loved it, but it didn't do great. Pixar was only a couple movies deep, and they picked up Brad Bird. What do you want to do next, buddy? We got you.
Yeah.
So he does The Incredibles for them. He follows it up for them, Ratatouille.
A great one. I love that.
Great movie. Then he ventures into the world of live action. He writes and directs Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which I've never seen. I
saw it.
Many consider it the best Mission Impossible.
I don't remember the difference between that one and the one the last one, what was it, Rogue Nation or something like that? But I liked it. I remember liking it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then he follows that up with his first flop, Tomorrowland, for Disney. Nobody liked it. He worked on that with Damon Lindelof, and big flop. Flopperoo. So he goes back to his roots, gang. He's like, well, I need a hit now. Boom.
All right.
Incredibles 2. Here it is.
Yeah.
A nice 14 years after the original came out.
Yeah, they waited a while.
Think about it. It's a superhero movie. When the original Incredibles came out, what were like the big super? I feel like that was the year like the Tom Jane Punisher movie came out.
Yeah, I mean the X-Men were still riding off of.
But we'd only
X2.
we'd done 2 X-Men
We've
movies.
done 2 Spider-Man.
We'd done 2 Blades. Like
2
that.
Blades.
That's it.
Right, 2 Spider-Man.
Yep. But
like Marvel hadn't taken off.
Not
yet,
at all.
basically. Right.
No.
Right.
So, boom, Incredibles. We're looking at superhero movies in a world pre-Superman Returns. How about that? Let alone pre-Man of Steel.
Yeah.
All right.
True. Mm-hmm.
So here it is, The Incredibles. It's the premise is it's the Fantastic Four. All
okay,
right.
you said it. I didn't
Now
have to
I
bother.
gotta take issue with anybody who was like, this is what superheroes should be. This is a revolutionary, original film. No.
Right. Okay, I
I'm
was
sorry,
really curious
friend.
about
I
that.
am sorry, buddy. This is the Fantastic Four.
You know, that's really funny that you say that because I wasn't sure. I hadn't seen this movie since maybe 2005 on DVD when it first came out on DVD. And I didn't remember much about it at all. And I was very curious as to your feelings on whether you gave a shit that it did that. Like, you'd be like, yeah, who cares?
My answer, by the way,
you...
is no, I do not give a shit.
Okay, but you do have a strong... You're like, oh, okay, folks, back it up here. It's not like he came up with original.
Yeah, no. It's great.
Ideas.
It's great. Let me rank for you the 6 Fantastic Four movies that have come out, Henry. Number 6, the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Okay.
All right. Number 5, the Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba. Number 4, Fantastic Four 2, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Okay.
Number 3, that Fantastic Four that came out a few years ago that everyone hated.
Right.
Number 2, Incredibles, and number 1, Incredibles.
Okay.
All right, I won't rank those movies yet.
Good idea.
Yeah.
But so what you're saying is The Incredibles is better than every Fantastic Four movie.
By a lot. By so much. The Incredibles, honestly, rewatching it, it's got to be one of the best superhero movies.
Yeah. It's very well, we're given all right. Yeah.
No, I just think but all it is, it's Fantastic Four. It's father, wife, and then 2 kids, Human Torch and the Thing. and the powers are scrambled,
Right, exactly.
There's someone has invisible powers, someone has stretchy powers, someone has what's the other one?
Like a snarky, fast guy.
Sure,
like
snarky. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And
that's
the thing
is
is big strength.
Yeah. And that's Mr. Incredible there. And his name is Mr. Incredible, like Mr. Fantastic. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Little flipperoo.
The flippity doodah.
Mm-hmm.
Flippity a.
My oh my, what a wonderful day.
Yeah, here we go. The Incredible. I've got Grapefruit La Croix.
Oh, is that what you're drinking right now?
That's what I'm drinking currently.
Oh, I like La Croix. I have Deer Park orange seltzer right now.
That's fucking grody.
Well, I was at a convenience store. I didn't get to shop for my usual type of thing. So I also have a Diet Pepsi here. Everybody.
I feel like you could do better. Diet Pepsi's good. All right, gang. The Incredibles by Brad Bird. Released November 5th, 2004. That was Pixar's bread and butter for a while. They loved that Thanksgiving season.
Yeah.
A budget of $92 million, a box office of $633 million.
Ooh.
All right. Huge release. It was number 5 there at the box office for 2004. Of course, number 4, Meet the Fockers. No, can you believe that was that big a hit?
I did not. I didn't think that did well.
Number 3, Passion of the Christ.
Awesome.
Number 2, Spider-Man 2.
Right.
And number 1 was Shrek 2 over there.
Sweet.
This was nominated, Henry, for 4 Oscars.
Yeah, sir.
That's awful high for an animated movie.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yep, it won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature.
All right.
It won the Oscar for Best Sound Editing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, sound mixing not as good as its sound editing, Henry.
Oh,
It lost
damn.
sound mixing to Ray. Now, they love to give sound awards to music movies because, you hear the music.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's hard to mix that.
Yep, and it was nominated, believe it or not, for Best Original Screenplay.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and lost to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I know, but still.
More than fair.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, it's a big nomination. Yeah, I mean, good for it.
The Incredibles was also nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Comedy Picture.
Really?
Yep, lost that to a little film called Sideways.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So there you have it.
Wait, so the what was it on the Golden Globes?
Oh, God.
Say it again. I'm sorry?
What?
Say it again. What did it win on the Golden Globes?
It lost for Best Comedy.
Oh, but it was nominated, right?
It was.
Jeez.
I'm
The
sorry.
Golden Globes. It's the Hollywood Foreign Press, mostly French.
Okay.
Yeah, it lost to Sideways.
I don't have that. That's...
All right,
Should I
all
add
right.
that in the theme
No,
song?
it's okay. That's just me finishing it.
Oh, I
Finishing it
appreciate
out.
that.
Yeah.
It's the coda.
Yeah, the coda. Now, Hank,
Mm.
here it is. You want to quickly do our top 10 of 2004? We just did this with Ocean's 12, so let's go.
Well, we'll
fast.
skip our honorable mentions.
Yeah.
No need. Number 10, The Bourne Supremacy.
Number 10, Dig.
Okay. Number 9, Primer.
Number 9, Anchorman.
Number 8, Fahrenheit 9/11.
Number 8, Team America World Police.
Number 7, Kill Bill Volume 2.
Number 7, Metallica, Some Kind of Monster.
Of course. Number 6, Layer Cake.
Number 6, Friday Night Lights.
Heavy hitters.
Oh,
The grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
hey, before we
Anchorman.
go into the heavy hitters, can I just say that Friday Night Lights reminded me of something I'd like to recommend to the audience out there?
Yeah.
I watched a movie last night, a Lifetime original movie from 2005. All right? And I looked up the main actor. He's the kid who played J.D. McCoy in the Friday Night Lights TV series. Now, this film, I would recommend it to everybody out there. It's one of my favorite movies I've ever watched in my entire life. It's called Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life. Okay? And it is about a young boy who everything's going right in his life. He's the captain of the swim team. He is he's got a girlfriend, and he discovers internet pornography.
Oh boy.
It takes over his life, Hank, and
no.
he becomes addicted. He loses everything. His spot on the swim team. He doesn't practice anymore. He's just jerking it. He loses his girlfriend because he downloads porn onto her computer because he can't stop looking at the porn.
Oh boy.
All right? It's a real cautionary tale about internet pornography, and it's a must-see. Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life. And it is written and directed, Henry, by the man who brought us a movie we both liked a lot that we covered for the franchise, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites, right?
That's right, it was.
Might even been my number one favorite.
I believe it was. So there you have it. If you want,
That's with Fast Jason, right?
that is. If you want further works by the Jason Lives auteur, you'll be wanting to watch Cyber Seduction, His Secret Life.
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah. All right. Well, can we hear that heavy hitters theme again?
Yeah, I think we need to. Yeah. Kind of dropped there for a second.
Yeah.
Heavy hitters. These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitters.
Have you noticed that when the guy I hired to do that did the curling reference, that it almost like he didn't know what to call that thing that they moved towards the circle?
I didn't even realize that was a curling reference.
Well, when the puck, it's like curling. He says something about curling when the puck gets close to the circle.
It does. Yeah.
Right, but he didn't sound like he knew what he was talking about.
They call that the old sweeperoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to fake Anthony Hopkins about that.
All right, what's your number 5 there?
Anchorman.
Mine is Before Sunset.
Number 4 is Spider-Man 2.
Number 4, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Number 3 is Sideways.
Number 3, Shaun of the Dead.
Number 2, The Aviator.
2, Sideways.
1, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
1, Kill Bill Volume 2. All right.
All
now,
right.
Henry, would you like to hear the Pixar list?
Would you like me to introduce that with the Pixar DreamWorks long-awaited song?
I'm ready. Yes, please.
Okay. Remember, folks, the precursor to this was that I have difficulty telling the difference. It's almost like a color blindness, except for animated films.
But I keep telling him it's incredibly easy to know which is which, because if it's good, it's Pixar.
I think the theme song touches on it a little bit.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Pixar is good. DreamWorks is bad. Get it right on, Dan will be mad. Pixar is good. DreamWorks is bad. Amazingly, hopefully someday Henry will get it right. DreamWorks is bad.
No, now let's play a game, Henry. I'm going to name 3 animated movies. You tell me which is a Pixar movie.
Okay.
All right. Ready for these?
I'm going to try.
Okay. Number 1, Hotel Transylvania. Number 2, How to Train Your Dragon. And number 3, Shrek.
Okay. Shrek is DreamWorks.
That's correct.
Okay. The other 2 are Pixar, is what you said?
None of them are Pixar, you
None
fucking
of them.
idiot.
I didn't think they were. I misremembered your question. I thought you were throwing one in there to stump me.
Well,
okay.
I was going to say I was doing that, but then just name none of them.
Got it.
All right, you want me to do it for real now?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, Monster House. Okay? Number 2, The Good Dinosaur. Okay?
Okay.
Now, number 3, Wallace and Gromit.
I didn't think any of those were Pixar films.
One of them is.
All right, I guess I'm going to have to go. Even though Wallace and Gromits are usually pretty good, I don't think they're associated with Pixar, so I think I'm going to go with Monster House.
Nope, it's The Good Dinosaur. Okay.
Ah!
Hank, I, as it turns out, have seen 16 Pixar films.
All right, I bet you I've seen a few in there.
I think there's 20 of them or something like that. I have never seen Brave. I have never seen Cars 2 and 3, and I have not seen Monsters University, and there might be like one other one.
All right.
All right. But here they are, ranked the 16 Pixar films I have seen.
All right.
All right? People are going to quibble with this. I'm not a purist. Fuck you.
Right.
Number 16, A Bug's Life.
Okay.
All right? It's got Dave Foley. It's okay. Not great.
I didn't see it.
Number 15, The Good Dinosaur. And I enjoyed The Good Dinosaur. That means there are... I like every Pixar movie I've seen pretty much.
All right.
All right, number 14, Cars.
Okay.
All right, Larry the Cable Guy, get her done. Number 13, Finding Dory.
Oh.
All right, threw a curveball there. That's the sequel. Number 12, here it is, Toy Story 2.
I saw it. I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of Joan... What's her name? Cusack.
Yeah.
I almost said Fonda.
I remember the harrowing one. That's whatever that was. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
You will.
All right, number 11. Here it is, gang. The Incredibles 2.
Ooh, very low.
They've made some good movies here.
All right.
Number 10, Up.
Love that.
Number 9, Up has a terrible third act. Everything before that's pretty good.
I don't remember.
Number 9, here it is, the most recent winner of the Best Animated Feature Oscar, Coco.
Okay.
Number 8, original Toy Story.
You cut out there. The original what?
Toy Story.
All right. All right.
Number 7, Monsters, Inc.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Number 6, The Incredibles.
Okay.
Number 5, Ratatouille.
Love it.
Number 4, oh wait, can we hear that Heavy Hitters theme?
Oh, sure. I guess it's applicable, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Why not 3 times?
Heavy hitters. These are the grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitter.
I paid extra special attention to the curling reference.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, number 4, Finding Nemo.
Liked it a lot. Saw it in the theater.
All right. Number 3. Now these are the masterpieces. The top.
Well, I've
3.
seen the top 5. I mean, I think I've. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Number 3, Inside Out.
Oh, you remember you loved that. I didn't see it. Yeah.
Number 2, I lost my space. Number 2, Toy Story 3.
Great movie. That's the heroin one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I've seen. I know what your number 1's going to be, and I've seen 4 of the 5 top ones.
All right,
So
well,
there you
you're
go.
doing well. You're doing well.
I am doing well.
My number 1 film of Pixar history. Here it is, Wall-E.
Yep, well done. Great movie. The only Pixar movie I have rewatched.
How about that? Yeah, I do own the Blu-ray.
I think I own it. I don't think I have the Blu-ray, but I think I have the DVD. That's a great fucking movie.
Great movie. All right, so Incredibles comes to us from Brad Bird in the year of our Lord 2004. I was a couple months deep into Hunter College, and I went to go see this. No, maybe I didn't see it in theaters. I think it was DVD for me.
Me too. Yeah.
All right, so it opens with a documentary-style cartooning, some talking heads.
Yeah.
All right, and then
Yeah.
we quickly get going, and Incredibles. Now,
Game night here.
all right, I'll tell you one thing I love about Pixar in general and The Incredibles in particular.
Okay.
Casting.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of animated movies, especially these days, they just pop a bunch of big names at you.
You know, whether they can voice act or not.
I remember when Despicable Me came out. It was like, check it out. We got this guy and Steve Carell and Jason Segel and probably like fucking Halle Berry or some shit.
That's a DreamWorks production.
That's a DreamWorks production. Pixar casts, my friend.
Yeah.
And probably nowhere better can this be found than in, how about the daughter of the Incredibles bunch, Sarah Vowell, doing the voice.
Yeah. Now, I had to look her up, but I know her.
I've read a couple of her books.
Right.
She
right.
is a history writer.
Right.
Probably best known for Assassination Vacation.
Okay.
And she's got a peculiar voice. I guess Brad Bird had seen her do some readings or something. Popped her in this movie.
Yeah. Would you say
she's
that
never done any other acting, pretty much.
Would you say that Pixar is to DreamWorks as the Marvel Cinematic Universe is to the DC universe? Think about it before you answer.
I would argue it's even a bigger divide than that.
Really?
Yeah, because DC
Wow.
has potential. They have properties that it's possible to create good movies out of.
Oh.
You know, Batman, Superman. These could be good movies. They just aren't.
Right, right.
But see, see, to me, Pixar so far outclasses DreamWorks that when Pixar puts out a movie that isn't a masterpiece and is just like a hit single,
Yeah.
it's surprising. That's how
Right.
consistent and great they are. I think it took them until they started doing sequels, which was like over 10 years after they'd started making movies.
Is that right?
Because like Toy Story came out in 95,
Wow.
then Bug's Life was 98, and after that they pretty much did a movie a year. And I'm telling you, up until like, I think Brave was 2012, and that was considered a misfire.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in their arsenal hit on all cylinders.
That's funny. Hey, so I guess Ants was a DreamWorks thing?
Or was it?
It wasn't on your list at all. So
Oh, yeah, I've done the list. No, that was DreamWorks, yeah.
I liked Ants.
Yeah, Ants is okay. I'm not saying like there's no other company that makes
No,
good animated
of course.
movies.
I was remembering Ants because I remembered the Woody Allen and
Here's
Sharon
the thing,
Stone.
though. You liked Ants at the time. But if you watched it today, I guarantee you Bug's Life holds up better.
Well, I wasn't a kid when I watched it, so it's not like I'm going to have some...
Yeah,
well,
but at the time you have affection for Sylvester Stallone and
oh, do I?
Sharon Stallone. Woody Allen.
All right.
Yeah,
Good.
great stuff. And the
Really
animation looks shittier.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Pixar had Steve Jobs behind it, old Michael Fassbender himself, and or Ashton Kutcher if you prefer. And
I saw that too.
I didn't. The animation's gorgeous. I mean, I got to tell you, I was surprised watching The Incredibles how fucking beautiful that the animation is in the first Incredibles.
It's very cool. Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome looking. Also, I forgot how James Bondy it was.
I was very taken aback.
Yeah.
Kind of in a good way, I guess, but
Mhm.
by Michael Giacchino's Bond theme usage. I not that he uses Bond themes, but you know what I mean. A lot of brass.
Well, they apparently went out to John Barry, who did the
I saw
score
that.
over there in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the best Bond movie we've covered on the podcast.
not true.
And he said no, so we went to Michael Giacchino for a bit of a sound-alike. And Giacchino is one of my favorite composers in all of film and television.
He's very good.
And Pixar was ahead of their time getting him, and they've used him a bunch since.
Oh, okay.
He scored Up, I know that, and a few others.
Well, if he did this, no, he didn't do the score to Wall-E, but the score to Wall-E is amazing. That's one of my favorite scores.
It's gorgeous.
Actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
But Giacchino, he's probably best known for scoring every episode of Lost, which, for my money, is the TV show in TV history that has had the best score.
Whoa, that's pretty bold, man.
I'll
the
say-
Leftovers is pretty. Although you're talking themes throughout the show, I always tend to dive to the
Leftovers.
opening theme.
I'll tell you, Leftovers. That's a pretty good call. That'd be close on the list. But
Yeah.
I think Lost. If you go
Okay.
back and listen to those Lost compositions, they're fucking gorgeous.
I believe you.
Yeah.
That was, by the way, Thomas Newman, who did.
The great Thomas Newman, Oscar winner, I believe, for
Oh, yeah.
American
Oh, yeah.
Beauty.
Yeah, and
He did that. He fucked around a lot on the xylophone for that movie.
He did a lot of great scores. It's a whole other conversation. Shawshank is a better score.
Shawshank? Why'd you
Great.
bring that up? Is that Thomas
He
Newman?
scored. Yeah, he scored that.
All right. Well, let's get back to The Incredibles. Here we have it.
Let's get back to it, will you? Jesus.
Yeah, well, Mr. Incredible, of course, voiced by Craig T. Nelson.
Coach.
Yeah, Pete, you can remember him as Coach or one of his other many great iconic roles. I love him in in Poltergeist,
So do I. He's great in Poltergeist.
and also as Zeke Braverman on the Parenthood TV show.
Don't know it.
Great. You got Holly Hunter in there. Hey, it's me, Holly Hunter. Hey,
That's pretty good.
hey, Henry, do you want to interview Holly Hunter?
No, Miss Hunter, you can't put your bag over here by the cash register.
Won't you ask me about my height? I'm only 4'4".
More importantly,
right.
Holly, when I met you, you looked dangerously skinny. Have you put on any weight or?
Listen, it was for a role. I lost some lbs.
You know, I couldn't help but think when I was
on a USA show called Shaving Grace. All right.
Oh, so you were shaving pounds off? Is that what you were doing?
I'll thank you not to make fun of my speech impediment.
I don't think speak impediment. I think you were great in the firm. I like Holly Hunter. Famous story. I met her twice. Over the period of 8 years.
You insulted me both times.
No. The first time I was very pleasant and very kind of starstruck.
Pleasant and starstruck.
But I was disturbed by your size and weight. But a lot of celebrities have done it.
I'm a diminutive young woman. I'll thank you very much to
it's
notice.
True. Now, the second time you had a whole bunch of bags from other stores, and I really wasn't interested.
I've been at Bergdorf Goodman's that day, all right?
I think it was. And you asked me, do you mind if I guess you could just ask me in that voice, Holly, what you asked.
Listen, can I leave my bags over here by the cash register?
No, you can't, because there's nobody here to watch them, so you're going to have to hold on to them.
I'll thank you to remember that I was in 13.
And I saw 13, and I remember you being good in that. Nah, you're great, Holly. I was absolutely a dick. I was in the wrong.
I appreciate you saying that after all these years.
It's my pleasure, Clarice Starling. It's close, Holly Hunter. That's what I was going to say. It was close when I was watching the movie. I was like, boy, she verges on kind of a Southern Jody.
It's twang, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more twang, but
yeah.
It's Dr. Lecter. You could almost see Dr. Lecter going in there like that.
I'll tell you what, there were some recognizable voices. I'll tell you, in Incredibles 2,
one drove me crazy that I didn't figure out ever. And
there were two I recognized immediately.
All right, I'm going to guess one of them.
Okay.
It has to be one of the ones that drove me nuts, and I never figured it out.
Right.
Catherine Keener.
That's one. Recognized it immediately.
I recognized it, but my mind kept going, Scarlett Johansson?
No, not Keener, baby.
Yeah, awesome. I love her, but I didn't know it was her. The other one, who I don't know.
Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, I knew that right away.
Don't you love that we live in a world now where Bob Odenkirk's just fucking everywhere?
He's a fucking star, dude.
He's a star and a half, and
I love him.
He's a brilliant man. He deserved
I've been
this
watching
years
this
ago.
guy for 23 years.
Samesies.
Yeah, and I love him. He's just great. He's just great.
Yep. Now, my first note here is suicide subplot. What am I thinking of?
Suicide subplot?
Yeah, I was surprised there was talk of suicide in The Incredibles. Now, of course, The Incredibles starts with a flashback.
Yeah.
All right. It's years earlier. Mr. Incredible has yet to marry Elastigirl, and they're superheroes, but they're dating, and it's their day of their wedding. And Mr. Incredible is trying to he tries to stop a guy from killing himself. That's what surprised me. I was like 10 minutes into this movie, we're already talking to kids about suicide.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm so desensitized these days. I didn't even. Boy, that was fucking.
Something
dark.
I like about Pixar too, which is that Brad Bird is clearly, considering the source material, influenced by Stan Lee. And Stan Lee had a way of not talking down to kids that is really the reason Marvel Comics work as well as they do. And I liked that in The Incredibles. Like this movie talks about like death, but like not in a way where like kids would be like just bummed.
Nor does it begin at this point, at least in my opinion, to endlessly cater to the adults. So it's like it's not like every single action or
That's my
plot
problem with
point.
Shrek, Hank. Everything's
Right.
a fucking pop culture reference. Ooh, like
Everything's a wink.
it's like, oh, a Silence of the Lambs reference, or
Right.
you know, like whatever
Yeah.
fucking movie's popular at the time. I'm sure at some point in fucking Shrek 2, someone says, "I see dead people" or something.
Right. I mean, it's like
Or I bet it's like, "I see gingerbread men." Yeah. Fuck those Shrek movies.
You know, I'm not a fan of certain meta things, and I really don't if they're not pulled off well in kids' movies, boy. And I was prepared that they were all over this movie. Totally wrong.
No,
totally
Pixar
wrong.
doesn't do that shit. This is what
Yeah.
you'll begin to learn, Henry.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yes.
So, he's got this kid following him around who wants to be his sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this kid grows up to be the supervillain of the movie. I think it really works, like having the head hero like have a connection to the arch villain is always something that works in
A
comics.
little bit of a Lex Luthor Superman thing going on.
Frankly, it's a little bit of a Fantastic Four Doctor Doom thing.
Yeah, I loved the connection. I loved the idea. I wasn't crazy about Syndrome himself.
I hear you, but you know what makes him work?
Jason Lee.
That Jason Lee voice
I love Jason Lee.
performance.
I mean,
I forgot he was hanging around this fucking movie.
well, this is mid Scientology crisis.
Well,
which
this was Jason Lee in the No Man's Land, where it's like, what's he gonna do? The Kevin Smith movies are
Right.
done. My Name is Earl has not started yet. Where's his career going?
he's post Vanilla Sky.
He's post Vanilla Sky, post Almost Famous, but pre My Name is Earl.
Right. I was, by the way, footnote, relieved to read that he is now no longer in the church. of
Really, he's
Scientology.
left the church.
Yep,
Did Leah Remini get him out of there?
I hope so. She rescued.
She's doing the Lord's work over there.
Maybe Holly Hunter got him out. I don't know.
Listen, Jason,
Gotta
I
get you
don't
to
think
Dora.
it's right for you. I don't believe in Genu, okay? I know when you get to OT level 9, you develop telekinesis, but I just don't. It's too hard, Tom Cruise. You're only in OT level 8.
I'll say for the record, have never heard before ever in our friendship your Holly Hunter impression. It's now in my top 5.
Of your favorites of my impressions?
Yeah, it's up there with Paul Giamatti and possibly George Lucas.
I love it. Thank you.
Wait, I'm sorry. You don't do a George Lucas impression. I always forget.
No,
Those
we
are-
just get those on the dark
those are-
web.
We get those recordings. Fuck yeah! Right.
Mhm.
They're so he has a thing.
Henry, can I stop the podcast right now and read you the George Lucas thing that was announced this week?
Sure.
George Lucas this week announced what the storylines would have been in Star Wars Episode 7 through 9 if it went by his original plan.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
What are they?
Ready?
Everybody will like this.
Ready? Here it is. I have a recording of George reading it.
Oh, who's he talking to? Just reading himself?
Yeah, this is just an interview.
Okay.
The next 3 Star Wars films, we're going to get into a microbiotic world. But there's this world of creatures that operate differently than we do. I call them the Wills. And the Wills are the ones who actually control the universe. They feed off the Force.
Was that the end of the recording?
That's it.
Wow.
So,
What you found? So he just came up with that, and you found that.
well, it was everywhere. He said
wow.
that in an interview this week. He basically
Right.
was like, my original plan for episode 7, 8, and 9 it was going to be Midichlorians the movie.
Right.
And,
I wonder if he knew there was he was mic'd. Probably didn't know.
no, he did, because he was self-aware. Look, he even followed that up with this great quote.
Oh, okay.
If I'd held on to the company, I could have done it. and then it would have been done. Of course, a lot of the fans would have hated it, just like they did Phantom Menace and everything, but at least the whole story from beginning to end would be told.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a fascinating insight into the ego of George Lucas.
How about that?
That is amazing. Good find, good recording, and I wish you did do an impression of him. You should work on it.
I will. I'll start to work on it.
Yeah,
it'll come in handy.
Yeah, I will.
So, yeah, Lucas, I mean, isn't that amazing?
He's just fantastic is what he
Does
is.
it make you feel a little better about The Last Jedi?
It does. Ooh, that hurt to say that. I shouldn't have said that so quickly. I don't know if it makes me feel a little better. Now, I mean, would not have wanted to see it go in the direction of a midichlorian exploration?
Henry, of course, I would absolutely have loved to see it.
I know you
but
would've.
they would have been horrible.
Well, yeah. Oh boy.
All right.
Anyway,
So The Incredibles. Let's get back to it.
we got Frozone.
Frozone.
Who's the Silver Surfer?
It's true.
As soon as it even though it's kind of like Iceman.
It's more Iceman. So Frozone is Mr. Incredible's best friend, and this is Samuel L. Jackson making a superhero appearance pre Nick Fury.
He's the Danny Glover to the Mel Gibson here.
Yeah, and he's great.
He is.
Yeah.
The Black
I
Man
really
is
like the
White Man.
Frozone character. I
wish they would have done a little more, to be honest.
I was
in the
kind of
first-
happy that we got, I think, a touch more in the sequel.
Yes, me
Yeah.
too.
So there you go. So I mean, then we get a long section of movie, frankly, where I mean, we're not even bothering to do superhero shit, and I kind of dug that. Where it's just like this, like suburban ennui of like Mr. Incredible's like workaday life, and like they have these powers, but they are not allowed to use them. They only ever use them at home,
Right.
And I kind of dug it. Like, there's this weird section of this movie that plays sort of like an Alexander Payne superhero movie or something.
Yeah, they could have got Paul Giamatti as Mr. Incredible.
Yeah. Motherfucker, I used to be Mr. Incredible! God damn it.
Sorry. Yeah, I had to get that in there, and it worked.
All right. So
How
but,
incredible would that be?
but here's
Oh,
the
man.
thing I like about this section of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of ennui, and there's like a sadness to it, but
Mm-hmm.
not in a grim and gritty way. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
There's a
No, you're
lightness
right, yeah.
of touch to it where there's jokes. Like now superhero movies, they all like if we're gonna like take them seriously, they're dark.
Right.
They're fucking dark. You won't believe how fucking dark this is gonna get.
Now you sound like Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. Oh.
I was
Sorry.
going more for like a Will Arnett in the Lego movie.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But anyway, I like that this is it's taking superheroes seriously. We're doing like a serious business superhero story, but we're still having a nice time.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I mean, I really, really liked the movie a lot. My only problems with it really were kind of just problems that I sometimes have with animation in general. Pixar does it a lot, but it's okay. It's kind of their thing. Sometimes the animation can be like a little bit too precious and cutesy for me, but that's actually specifically related to like some of like the human characters, like the animation like surrounding it is always more impressive to me.
The Incredibles was the first time Pixar had ever done a feature-length film that was entirely populated by human beings.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and so they had a lot of trouble with some shit. Like,
Oh, did they?
yeah, like Violet's hair, I guess, was like the first time they'd worked with a character with long hair before. And
Okay.
so, like, they kept fucking around with the part, and like, basically, the part in her hair changes sides a few times in the movie just because they were learning on the fly, and sometimes it was just easier to animate it one way.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm not going to give them too much shit for the animation in this one. All things considered, I think they did a great job, and they've gotten even better with this over the years. But,
Yeah.
like, think about the movies they've done before this. It was like fucking their toy movie and a
Right,
bug
true.
movie and
That's very true.
Yeah.
I didn't never occurred to me. Yeah,
a fish movie.
a fish movie. Yeah. I mean, I think the
monster
most
movie.
glaring example for me would have been, and my least favorite character would have been Edna Mode.
Oh, mine too. And I have an
Really?
issue. Yes. I have an issue with that character. Brad Bird does the voice of it himself.
Yeah, I know.
All right, not funny.
Not funny at all.
No, it's a
And honestly, reeks of Doctor Evil's side woman. The whole makeup
Frau
and everything.
Farbissina. I
Right,
also
yeah.
just think they wouldn't get away with it today.
Oh, how so? Oh, just to make him hire a woman.
You can do it if it's for comedic effect. Obviously, Bob's Burgers is a great show where you have multiple female characters that are voiced by males. Dan Mintz as Tina and John Roberts, I think his name is.
Yeah, I
whatever.
think you're right.
Shut the fuck up. But I just think like it reeks of weirdness to me that Brad Bird was just like, I couldn't find anybody to do the
That's
voice I
bullshit.
wanted to hear. Like,
That's
fuck
such
you, dude.
bullshit.
I'm sure somebody could have given a better voice performance.
He just wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of that character either, and I knew she'd show up in the sequel because I unfortunately think she is a bit of a fan favorite, but
Of course.
I was unhappy to see her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She is my LVP. Spoiler alert.
Mine too.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm.
I did like. I thought they did some interesting stuff with the powers. Henry.
Yeah, that was the best part. I thought the strongest part of the movie.
They were really thoughtful.
Movie.
Yeah.
Of this movie, this first Incredibles, I thought the powers were the best part. The way they would utilize, especially Elastigirl. You know, that
When
was
she gets like she stretches through like 3 automatic doors and she has to like get them to open up. Like
Yeah.
that is a really clever fucking scene.
very, very clever. I wrote the word clever. Was it this one? Sorry if I'm conflating them. Was it this one where she kind of turns into a boat and has her son like use himself as a motor across the ocean?
I think it was this one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome too.
Really
and Violet
cool.
just kind of sitting there as a passenger. I love that. That was just a nice little touch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very creative.
I also really dug Mr. Incredible sort of angrily closing his car door and like
That was cute. It was cute.
no, but it like went on for a while. It was like a joke that could have been cute, and then it was like one of these jokes that just goes for a long time until
Yeah.
it like circles around to being funny again because of the length.
That's a good point.
I
Yeah.
really liked that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like fucking an Abbott and Costello bit
Chase
with
or
super.
something.
Yeah, it's Chevy Chase. That is exactly what it is. Yeah.
His head in the lampshade or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Chevy Chase
Charge-
could have been a good Mr. Incredible.
Just charge it to the Underhills. All right.
Is that a Fletch reference?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get those now.
That's right. That's well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
All right, do you have let's move on to the sequel, I guess.
Yeah, I'd like to. I think I have a little bit more to say about that. But so, what are you giving? Who's your MVP? We both said our LVP. Who's your MVP and what's your star rating?
I'm gonna go for my MVP with a Craig T. Nelson, and this is
Really?
yeah, this is very much Mr. Incredible's movie in the way that the sequel is very much Elastigirl's movie, and I think Craig T. Nelson's voice performance in this flick is a real marvel. Like it captures a lot of shades, and it's tough to do that. We've talked about this on the podcast, where like. Remember I said about the Ninja Turtles? Like, of course Leonardo's going to be the boring one. He's the leader.
Right.
This is a case where Craig T. Nelson, as the leader of this crew, has enough shades in that performance that he's who I'm rooting for the most.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I agree with that. He's not my MVP, though. I really thought, to me, despite being much more prominent in the sequel, Holly Hunter.
Oh, well,
was my
thank you,
MVP.
dear. Thank you, dear.
You're very welcome. I think she was my favorite character in the first one. I thought she was great, and I thought it was a really spirited, plucky performance. I
Well,
liked it a lot.
thanks for that. It was a joy playing Elastigirl.
Well, I'm sure it was, and I appreciated your appearance before The Incredibles 2, thanking us for coming to the theater. Yes. Did you see that, Dan?
Oh, yeah, I fucking did. All right, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, because I do have one funny thing about that. So, all right, yeah. So, 4 stars for me.
Same.
Why not 5?
Honestly, could use a better villain, even though I think Jason Lee is really good.
Agreed.
Once Mr. Incredible is trapped, and it's like they're going to find him. The balance is off. Like, there's not enough of the other family early on in the movie, not enough of Mr. Incredible later in the movie. Just like a couple things that prevent it from being a 5, but it's a great movie. It's obviously number 6 on my Pixar list, and it's a solid 4.
I agree. It's a solid 4 for me for many of the same reasons you said, and one of the other reasons it doesn't make 5 for me is its length. It's too long.
That is a problem I had with the sequel, not something I've really overly felt in this one.
Yeah, well, they're both too long, but I think that this is just, it does not need to be. I don't even remember, 115 minutes? I mean...
No, it's not. I don't believe it's that long. Hour 45, I thought? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up right now, and The Incredibles is an hour and 55 minutes. I gotta tell you, I did not feel the length.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, I did. It was just too long for, No, I don't want to say it's too long for an animated feature, but it's just for what it is, being what it is. As a superhero animated, I didn't need it to be 2 full hours. I mean, Jesus.
By the way, I'm reading here that Lily Tomlin was considered for the part of Edna. Why the fuck didn't they get Lily Tomlin?
Yeah, that's bizarre. Maybe she was still hurting from that ear beating she got from David O. Russell.
Oh, God. Right. It would have been around that time.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Too busy being called the C word by David O. Russell.
Yeah.
And,
She was probably also Martin Sheen's assistant on the West Wing at the time.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's The Incredibles. 4 stars, and I do have something at the end of that. So
of course.
Yeah, here we go. So.
All right, that's enough. Okay.
It keeps going.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'll cut it off.
All right, thank you.
I got it for at least 40 seconds.
All right, what's the superhero count here? Is
You're
all
gonna
of
have
them?
to. I want you to get some of these. I don't think you'll get that many though.
All right, hit me.
All right. Obviously, who do we have?
Samuel L.
first?
Jackson, Nick Fury.
Good job. All right. Now, we've covered this movie. We've covered this entire franchise, and this man was in them, but I don't know if you'll remember. I'm going to give you a hint. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Well, you're singing to me the Cheers theme, and I'd thank you to stop, because when I'm in the wrong mood, that song makes me cry. Now, Henry,
Yeah.
who from Cheers is in The Incredibles? That's the question. Woody Harrelson does not show up.
No.
Ted Danson does not.
No.
Shelley Long does not. Rhea
No.
Perlman does not.
No.
I got it. All right, now of course, in all the Pixar movies, Pixar's lucky penny is Mr. John Ratzenberger, and John Ratzenberger was previously seen in one scene of Superman 2.
And Superman, the original, yes.
Oh, okay.
He's in both, but good call.
Thank
Not just really on the Ratzenberger, but on remembering he was in Superman. I'm impressed.
Yep.
All right, real quick then. Craig T. Nelson, this was a find, was in one episode of the Linda Carter Wonder Woman series.
Wow, he would have been very young.
1978, the year I was born. Yes. Holly
Same
Hunter.
year as Poltergeist, no?
What?
No, before Poltergeist. Go on. Holly Hunter was in a superhero thing?
Oh, very recently, my friend.
Oh, yes, I was. Recently. She must have been someone's mom.
No.
No?
That's a good guess, though. Why not? But you're in the right universe.
Let's go with, what was she, like,
She was killed by Jesse Eisenberg.
She was? What, she was in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice?
Yeah.
Who'd she play?
Senator Finch.
Senator Finch?
Yes. Senator Finch.
I don't recall.
Yeah. Okay. And two more. Wallace Shawn.
Yep. Where was he?
Was in a movie I love to cite, despite it keeps coming up, and that's why I keep citing it, because it's so good to cite it. The Meteor Man.
Oh, yeah.
He played Mr. Little.
Makes sense.
Yeah. and and the late great Elizabeth Pena was in a Justice League cartoon playing a character I've never heard of called Paran Dul.
Who's Elizabeth Pena?
She's Syndrome's female sidekick.
And she's dead?
Yeah, she died at 55 of cirrhosis of the liver of drinking.
Oh, that's right. We covered her in Rush Hour. Remember, she was like my MVP in Rush Hour.
Yeah. I always liked her a lot. Yeah.
Hank, I would also like to give a nice R.I.P. to someone else we covered recently.
Oh no.
The actress who played Trench in the first two Bond movies died.
Sylvia Trench?
Yeah, she just died.
Wow. I mean, she's the one that you blame for giving Sean Connery herpes.
I believe that is true.
Yeah, the trench job.
Yep. He dug up deep in that trench, and now she has passed. And
she's in a trench.
She's in a bit of a trench herself.
All right, that's terrible. She's a wonderful Bond girl.
Eunice Gayson died at age 90.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
She lived a long one.
She made it far in life. And made it deeper than most Bond girls. 2 movies.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to give her that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. The Incredibles 2.
The Incredibles 2.
The Incredibles 2. Now, This movie comes to us just this past week. And Brad Bird's back to write and direct. I do not have a budget for you yet. But this box office gross, Henry. Have you heard about this?
Nope. Sometimes I like to keep myself in the dark on these
Let
things.
me tell you.
Let
me tell you about The Incredibles 2's record-shattering opening weekend.
All
right? It has beaten the record for the highest grossing opening weekend for an animated film of all time.
Wow.
All right? Not only that, but it had one of the top 10 openings of all time for a film of any genre.
Wow. Jesus.
All right?
Impressive.
Now, yep, $180 million opening for The Incredibles 2.
And only been out for, 4 days?
It's only been out... this was when it was only out 3 days.
Wow.
All right? The previous record for an animated film, Henry, was Finding Dory with $135 million.
Wow.
180!
Damn, man.
All right? Now, and it comes in at number 8 box office of all time for an opening weekend. Pushing back to number 9, Captain America Civil War.
Wow. Yikes. Wow.
All right?
Yeah, right. I would say that some of those numbers could be accounted for by children being omnipresent at The Incredibles. But, of course, since parents take their kids to see anything, Captain America Civil War not affected by that. So Kudos to The Incredibles 2.
Did you know that? Did you know that Disney has 9 of the top 10 biggest opening weekends of all time?
Doesn't surprise me.
The
but no.
only outlier is Jurassic World. More on that later.
Ooh.
Now, there we go. I also want to say something else about the animation for Incredibles that I forgot to say earlier. It was originally developed as a 2D movie. But once Brad Bird went over to Pixar, they only do this type of animation.
Right.
So.
That's why they. Okay.
Yeah, intriguing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I believe we have. I have somehow conjured up a so far list of 2018.
Oh, okay. I've read mine quite a number of times so far. So let us hear Henry's.
All right. This is a so far. I have not been to the movies very much this year.
Yep. You'll recall I had high on the list First Reformed, Hereditary.
Yeah, go ahead and yeah.
You Were Never Really Here. That's all. That's my top 3 so far. But go on. What's your list?
Yeah. Okay. Again, tough list because not a lot of things I loved yet.
You've also not seen as much as this fella over here.
Right. There's like 5 movies on here, 4 movies that might be on here at the end of the year. I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Number 10, this will not be, but from my choices, Solo.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, well, Deadpool 2 didn't make it.
I'll tell you, if you want to hear about a movie I haven't thought about a single time since I stopped recording this podcast.
Me neither, man.
Yep.
Number 9, Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8, all right.
Number 8.
Hey, while we're on Ocean's 8, shout out to that emailer. Could you read that?
Oh, sure. I can pull that up real fast. Just pulling on the. There we go. Okay, it's from our friend down under, Aussie Scott.
The great Aussie Scott.
The great Aussie Scott. Hey, Henry and Dan. I was totally shocked that Dan didn't mention the photo of Danny Ocean in Ocean's 8. He seems to always bag movies for doing that, seeing that these photos are popping up on a regular basis on the franchise. Do you think you, Henry, should be doing an opener for them? Aussie Scott. And I said, you mean like a theme song for a photo bomb when they happen, etc.? And he said, yes, I mean like a jingle for photo bomb, it'd be nice once in a blue moon. Well,
let's hear it.
Done and done, Aussie Scott. Okay. You want to just hear it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sure. Why not?
And then I'll talk about it.
It's a photo bomb, 'cause we couldn't get the actors, 'cause we couldn't afford them, so get on the photo bomb.
Love it. I love it. Now, Henry, this was a great catch from Aussie Scott. I'd like to say my friend Gallagher also texted me similarly. And knowing what a fan I am of photographs of actors from previous installments showing up in current installments. You may recall Will Smith in Independence Day Resurgence. What else have we seen?
Roy Scheider in Jaws 4.
3. Oh, it probably was Jaws 4. The Revenge, yeah.
Yeah.
What a great trend this is becoming. George Clooney's photograph is remarked upon, which made it fit into the action slightly better than we've seen in the past, but always still hilarious.
It was indeed. Yes. So good catch. Well done. All right. Back to my 2018 list. Number 9 was Ocean's 8. Number 8 is The Incredibles 2.
Love it.
Number 7, a movie I had forgotten about, but really liked. Tomb Raider.
Fuck yeah. I love that Tomb Raider's that high on the list.
Yeah, man. I was like, you know what, man? I had a really good time watching that movie.
Tomb Raider is a big recommend. That baby's got to be close to DVD at this point. If you skip that in movie theaters, there's a lot worse out there, man. Check it out.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you said that. Yeah.
I want to see a sequel to Tomb Raider.
There you go. More on that later. Yeah. Number 6 was a documentary on Netflix I saw called Evil Genius.
I heard good things about that. I wasn't sure that counted because
I don't know what we're doing with Netflix anymore. Are we? What are we doing?
That's a miniseries, isn't it? Like, how long was that Evil Genius?
4 episodes.
Yeah. Now, see,
Or 3.
if
4,
we're counting that sort of thing, then I would have had Wild Wild Country on my list, which was 4 hours.
Well, the thing is that I think that adjusting to the times, we really should, because people are considering things like Mudbound, which had like a theatrical release for like a day.
But that's identifiably a movie.
Oh, but that you put OJ on there, and so did I.
But
and
that was like
on,
nominated for an Oscar. It won an Oscar.
So was Mudbound, and so was OJ, and so were a lot of things nowadays.
But a lot of this kind of shit, like The Jinx on HBO, which has a similar structure.
Well, but you put The Tale on your list, and that was released, again.
I know. I was
we'll
thinking.
have to discuss
thinking The Tale's a movie, and then I was looking at the Emmy ballots this week,
Yeah.
and they're like all over that.
Right, and when we get to my top 2, it's a bigger problem. So
It's annoying, but I
be
should
solved
I
by the
watch
end of the
that
year.
Evil Genius? I wanted to see that.
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right, I'll check it out.
All right, number 5. We haven't played this yet, so it's probably gonna be really.
The grand slams, the slap shots, the three-pointers, the touchdowns, the curling when the puck gets close to the circle. These are the heavy hitters of the franchise. Heavy hitter.
These are the movies that are like as big as when the puck is near the circle in curling.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew what he was talking about. Number 5 is A Quiet Place.
Yeah, it was. Oh my God, Henry! I was at this new job today,
Yeah.
and I'm like standing around people that just don't know anything about movies,
Oh boy.
and they were talking about like what movies they've liked so far this year.
Yeah.
And this one guy goes, "A movie I loved is Silence." And then,
Really big fan of that Scorsese film,
yeah,
huh?
and I at first I thought that's what he was talking about, and then he was like and then the woman knew exactly what he meant.
Oh no.
And was just like, I love horror movies. That movie, and then he was like explaining the movie to her, and he was like, that movie Silence, what you have to get about that movie is see, you can't talk at all.
Oh my.
And I was like, I fucking wish I was in that world right now.
Oh. The world of A Quiet Place would indeed be quite awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
All right.
That's good. I like it. Silence.
Yeah.
By John
Silence.
Krasinski about the monks. Number 4, Black Panther.
Yep, it's a good one.
Number 3, Avengers Infinity
You
War.
went back to back like me.
Yep. And number 2, Bobby Kennedy for President.
What's that?
That was I don't know if it was released, but it was on Netflix, documentary. Phenomenal.
Is that Chappaquiddick?
No, that didn't make my list. That did not make my list. Not a very good film.
Shout out to my Republican friends out there. No,
Yeah,
I'm
just
joking.
Love it no matter what the quality is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
They
number
know-
one?
They know we love them. I don't. I know. The number 1 movie that I've seen this year is a documentary called Flint Town.
Yeah, I heard great things about that.
That is hands down the best movie on my list so far.
Cool. Yeah,
Flint
I should see
Town.
that. Who
Yeah.
made that? Someone good?
I don't remember.
I feel like it's a good filmmaker.
I don't remember, dude. But it's a really,
Flint.
really good movie.
Town. Here it is. An 8-hour documentary.
Yeah, it's an investment. Yeah.
All right. It's by a fella or a few fellas. They've never done anything I've heard of.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's a great movie, and it's not generally about the Flint water crisis. Not that would be bad, but that's part of it. But that's not really what it's about. So it's just a great documentary about America.
Interesting.
It's more about the police than it is about anything else. But it interviews and uses and follows the policemen. So it's very fascinating.
Shout out to our boys in blue out there. Make sure to stand up when you hear that anthem.
Don't get me started.
All right, Henry.
Yeah.
Great list.
All right. Thank you very much. I think it's not bad.
No,
for what I've
I'm
seen.
into it. I was into it, and
Yeah.
there's 2 things on there I'm gonna rush out to see. I think.
Good.
Yeah.
That was Evil Genius in Flint Town.
Yep.
Yeah. Check out that Bobby Kennedy thing too. It's 4 episodes.
Where's
Skip
that?
the-
Netflix?
Yeah, skip the 4th one.
Really?
You can end it at the 3rd. That's where it should have ended.
I don't do that. I'll have to watch.
No, I'm
the-
just kidding. You have to watch the whole thing. But the
All right,
first,
The Incredibles 2 comes out. We've got lots of new characters. It's an Elastigirl joint. And you know what I thought was a bold move?
what?
14 years after the original movie came out, we're picking up the second that last one leaves off.
I was very surprised, and I had like a split second where I wasn't happy. I thought it was a cop out, but then like 5 minutes in, not even 5 minutes, I was like, nope, good idea. It worked.
I had the same reaction, and then I was like, you know what though? Like, I don't want to see like the kids grown up and shit.
Right,
Like,
exactly. I didn't either. Who cares?
yeah. Yeah, it should be like the fucking. Well, I was gonna say The Simpsons, but it should be like fucking Fantastic Four, where like they just age over many
Right,
years, a
exactly.
sliding scale of aging.
14 more years.
No,
when we
it's
get
like how
Incredibles
Peter
3.
Parker was like 15 when Spider-Man started in like 1962, and now in 2018 he's probably supposed to be like 32.
Yeah. It's like 1 year equals like 10 or 5, something like that.
Yeah. So,
Tell me about your theater going experience.
oh right, Henry, I went to go see this in the theater. Of course, I got there with lots of time to spare. I was the first one in the theater, but of
Bad
course, I purchased my ticket with I was in the second row again. I didn't try to fuck around this time, taking other seats. I just got down there in that second row. I'll tell you what, though. Second row of the theater, I still was looking at cell phones. People in the first row looking at cell phones.
Folks, you got to bear with Dan a little bit. It's been a long time since he's been a regular film goer. We've swapped roles where I'm not really going very much. He's going all the time, so he's out of practice.
I hate it.
Yeah, right. And you're out of practice, so when you're going, you're forgetting all the tricks. You're forgetting all the tricks.
I just, so I'm sitting there next to, I forgot that there's going to be kids in there.
Key.
So the kids are yapping away. All the trailers are for kids' movies.
Right.
Oh, God, Hotel Transylvania 3 looks great.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't know.
Why, you didn't see trailers?
We're gonna get to me after you.
All right. So I was sitting next to a family, a single mother and 3 kids. And
Still a family.
single mother decided this isn't a movie I want to see. I'm taking care of my kids. And so she popped her phone out, and that was all she wrote for the rest of the movie.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep. Did not bother to turn down the dimmer on the phone screen either.
Oh,
That
man.
was just a beacon of light hovering directly next to me for 2 hours.
Oh.
All right. She also got up 3 times. Headed out to the lobby.
There's nowhere to go, nowhere to run. You couldn't go anywhere.
This was my seat. It was a sold out picture.
Okay.
Yep. For the most part, the audience was pretty good. A lot of kids. I didn't hear too much from them. I'll give them that. All right. But there you have it. That was my theater going
man.
experience this time out.
That's just a gem.
I
That's what
peed
it is.
once.
I did too.
And I was very tired. I almost fell asleep once.
I
caught
was
myself.
too. So did I. Yeah.
All right.
So I saw this yesterday. Purposely took my time. Purposely got there late. Not sold out. Sauntered up to Theater 4. Could hear from the outside. It was a 1:15 showing. I'm outside the doors at like 1:25. I hear previews. I sit on the bench. outside. I can still hear the previews. I wait until 1:35 after 20 minutes of previews, and I sense the movie starting. I was correct.
No,
bullseye.
you aren't.
Bullseye. Went right in,
Wait.
sat down, movie started.
Henry.
That's how I like it.
That's amazing.
That's how I like it.
I also got 20 minutes of trailers, but also then after that, an 8-minute short film.
Oh, I got that too.
Yeah.
I didn't account for that. I wasn't expecting that. But,
Well,
you know,
Pixar always does it, and
I wouldn't know.
This time around, we got one called Bao, which was like a metaphorical little film about a sentient dumpling, and but it's about
A sentient dumpling.
I mean,
Wow.
that's what it's about.
That's Spielberg's next. I smell a Spielberg creation. Oh,
Well, I'll tell you what, that sentient dumpling would have been in Ready Player One.
yeah,
Yeah.
been better than E.T.
The Iron Giant was in
nice.
Ready Player One. Shout out to
Right.
Brad Bird. All
I
right.
saw the trailer. Yeah.
You didn't see Ready Player One? Please see that.
When Ready Player 2 comes out, we'll cover it.
Henry, that's the third worst movie of the year.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Well, then I might have to see
because I watched the two worst movies of the year in one night this week. I got lucky.
it. That is luck.
Okay? Check this out, back to back.
Mm.
Number one, A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, you did that?
Oh
to
my
yourself?
God, it's just platitudes for 2 hours. Ugh,
You did that to yourself,
garbage.
huh?
Yeah, piece of shit.
Why, no, I'm not gonna say why. I know why. You wanted to be on the end. You wanted to know what.
Listen, I like Ava DuVernay. There's some good actors in it. It was bad, and I read the book as a kid. It was a good book.
No. Okay.
All right, and then directly after watching A Wrinkle in Time, Henry, I was like, I need something that's gonna get me pumped. Let's
Sure.
I was sick of like the fantasy. It's just nonsense for 2 hours. So I was like, let me put on a true story, something to get me grounded.
Absolutely.
All right, so I put on a little film called The 1517 to Paris.
Oh Lord. Oh. Did you stand for that one?
I watched the whole thing, if that's what you're asking. But,
No. Oh, that's not what I'm asking. Oh God. Yeah.
Clint, I see what you're saying.
You better stand
Listen,
for the
Clint,
heroes.
boy, is that a piece of... Hey, if there's one thing I learned about heroes watching that movie...
They can't act.
That's another thing I learned. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Talk about like Brad Bird in The Incredibles. Like you couldn't find some fucking actors.
I don't know, man. I mean, Clint still can do it.
Listen, he still
got this-
can. I saw Sully. Sully was good.
Oh, I like Sully. You didn't like Sully?
I did. I'm saying
Yeah, you
Sully
agree
is
with
a
me.
similar thing to what he's doing in this movie, and it was
Well,
good.
Yeah.
But he has
there's always a
Tom
little
Hanks.
self-reverential. Yeah.
But this fucking movie, I'll tell you what, Heroes, Henry, Heroes are very prolific with a selfie stick. All right?
Good rhyme.
The whole second act of this film is just them taking selfies.
That sounds pretty cool. I'm into it.
This movie, it's about a 7-minute event, basically, like that happens on this train.
Right.
So, like, he's got to stretch this out to 90 minutes. We spend, like, 20 minutes with them in middle school.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then, they're in the military. It's
I don't know,
fucking
man. It
ridiculous.
sounds to me like you are not being a real American. That's what it sounds like to
I'll
me.
tell you, it's better than A Wrinkle in Time. But
I actually believe that, but yeah.
But man, those
I
are
don't know if I
those
do.
are the two worst movies in the year. I was dying for some Ready Player One. But how did we get
wow.
on that Bao, the fucking Pixar dumpling movie? Thumbs
was
up
cute.
from me. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute.
I found it kind of moving, the mother-son relationship.
Right, it was very nice and no dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it was clever. I was into it. My favorite Pixar short is one nobody likes but me. It's it's called Lava, and it's about a sentient volcano singing and falling in love. Nobody likes it, and I didn't know nobody liked it. I found it on Letterboxd. It's just all critics I like shitting all over it.
Oh, really?
I watch it. It makes me cry.
Oh my lord!
I'm
Okay.
talking about crying a lot on this podcast. I'm a
No, there's a lot of crying.
bit of
here
a
today.
puss today. All right, Henry, Incredibles 2. We start. It's the Mole Man, who's the villain in issue 1 of the Fantastic Four. He's fighting them. It's John Ratzenberger doing the voice there.
The Underminer.
The Underminer. That's a clever name, by the way. It's better than Mole Man, frankly.
I agree.
Yeah. So then we check back in with them. A lot about the baby in this one.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to say right now, Jack MVP.
Jack MVP.
Going with Jack.
I like that. Now, I had resistance to this storyline of Jack learning his powers.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is a riff with Craig T. Nelson as a stay-at-home dad trying to take care of the baby. And
A little bit dated, but yeah.
yeah, it is a little bit Mr. Mom or whatever.
That's what I immediately thought of. I was
Yeah.
like, where's Michael Keaton?
Yeah, or Three
but-
Men and a Baby or something.
Yeah,
But
holy shit.
but I thought Jack earning his powers was you know, and
Dude, it was funny, man.
it helps
I have
that the
to say out loud.
animation of Jack is terribly cute.
It really does. He fell off the cute tree and hit every branch.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's charming. You
He's-
like watching him, and I don't
Yeah.
know how they did his voice necessarily, but every time he pipes up, he's funny.
It's very funny. I felt extremely stupid for finding it funny, but
no, it's cute though. It's well
it
done,
is
and the
funny.
animation is good. Like
it is.
when he turns into like Fire Jack and Monster
Yeah.
Jack, like it's really good. And
and when they multiply,
when he multiply, and when they finally give him that like fire extinguishing suit that makes
yeah, right. Oh my god! And the scene, I got to tell you, man, the scene with him fighting that raccoon.
so
Oh,
good. Might have been the
Jesus
best scene in the
Christ.
movie.
I agree. Oh my god, it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching this thing. This is the greatness of these Pixar people. You know, I'm fucking watching this thing in the theater. I didn't mention, by the way, almost no kids in the theater.
Fuck you.
What? Almost all adults. One baby, and I mean a baby like Jack. This baby's superpower was that it cried the whole time, and its parents was the super villain. Did take it out a few times, but anyway. You know, these fucking movies. I'm watching this thing, and there's a fight between. Think about this show, folks. What you've heard of us too. You know, a Pixar baby is fighting a raccoon, and it's fucking great.
Because here's what Pixar's brilliant at, Henry.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
appeal to adults, but not in ways where they're pandering to the
Right.
adult by making references. They just appeal to the adults by making things that are appealing.
They're funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just funny. I can't even
Undeniably
I don't feel like I
funny.
need to explain it. Yeah, there's no need to
anybody,
explain it.
anybody would love Jack fighting this raccoon. Anybody.
Oh my god, it is hilarious. Yeah.
So the other big storyline of this movie is, of course, in the Incredibles universe, the superpowers or superheroes are outlawed.
Sound familiar?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's been done 100 times.
No, but I mean, I was a little surprised at how they went with that storyline, given not the movie Civil War, but even the you know what I mean?
But
like,
Incredibles did it before Civil War.
When was Civil War written? 2006?
The comic book? It was
Yeah.
2006.
So, okay, well, that's fine, but that's not...
No. Brad Bird is pulling from Alan Moore here. This is a Watchmen reference.
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, because I thought of that too, but yeah. All right, well, fine. Yeah.
So we're doing that, and in this movie, Odenkirk and Catherine Keener are supposedly fans of superheroes. They want to try to legalize superheroes again by making them palatable, and they want the sort of face of superheroism to be Elastigirl.
Right.
That section of the movie, the sort of conspiracy behind that, I was less taken with.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it, but it introduced a shit ton of new characters,
Yeah, well, that was not. Yeah.
and I didn't really care about any of them.
Neither did I.
There was Sophia Bush as Void. There was Phil Lamar as the Electric One. There was
And he also played Crusher, a Crusher guy.
all right.
Well, I know that for later.
But yeah, there were a bunch of like new heroes, and
Yeah,
I just they were nothing.
I agree.
Isabella Rossellini was one, I think.
Yeah, she was the ambassador, though. No, not a superhero. She
Oh,
was
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I didn't dislike that section of the movie, but
No, nor
those
did
characters
I.
all kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Void was the only cool one, but not then. Only later.
And Void was mainly cool because they used her powers really cleverly,
Right,
not
exactly.
because she was such an amazing character.
That's correct.
Yeah. It was okay, but there were a few times that we were spending time with those characters where I was like, well, what's Jack up to?
Cut back. Yeah. No, but overall, I liked the plot better. I thought it was cooler. And it still, and let me just, it fooled me. I was thinking I'm smarter than, I was still thinking I'm dumbing down Pixar when I'm watching it. And I'm going, obviously Odenkirk's the villain. Obviously he's the villain. Obviously. And of course he's not. And then, I felt pretty dumb about that, but thought it was clever.
Catherine Keener's the villain.
Right. And when you think back on it, it should be more obvious, but it's very slickly done. So slyly, I should say. So, yeah. What did you think of that? Did you
That twist totally worked for me. I did guess it ahead of time, but
Did you?
yeah.
Okay.
But only because I thought casting Bob Odenkirk as your
obvious.
villain is a little on the nose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I give Pixar more credit than you do.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Well, I will now. No.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Now, what else, Henry? I'll tell you one thing I did enjoy, and this brings me to my MVP of this film.
Oh.
The Violet subplot.
Yes.
Her high school her crush
Of course
on
you
this
like
fella.
that.
All right, of course I did love it, and I thought it was done really well. And there you have it, Sarah Vowell, my MVP of this film.
She was great, and it was done. It
And I
actually was done
love
very well.
Violet. Like, there's like. There's something about that vocal performance attached to that face. Like, I just want her to be happy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, she's excellent. Yeah. No, I mean, I thought it was. I loved when they move into the new house. I thought that whole scene was funny, and
that worked for me. That's a superhero trope too, like the villains moving the heroes into a bigger house or whatever.
Oh, and visually, I wanted to remember this, and I just thought of it now. Visually, I thought the sequence when Elastigirl finds who she thinks is a Screen Slaver in that apartment building, and they're trapped in that room with the blue lights going off. You remember that? They have like a brief fist fight.
Yeah.
That was just visually amazing. I mean, that was really, really cool and inventive.
There are a few stunning sequences in the movie. I thought her Elastigirl chasing down that train.
That was cool.
That whole sequence was riveting.
Yeah.
Like, I find myself in fucking Incredibles, this superhero cartoon, like, way more, because, like, a lot of times with, like, the Marvel movies, like, I'm so like trained to the rhythms of those movies
Yeah.
that like I don't feel tense because I know everything's gonna turn out all right. Like
Right.
there are times in these fucking Incredibles movies where I'm like worried about the characters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a good example. I thought you were going to say something slightly different, so I'll say it. I thought you were going to say where sometimes at the end of, actually, I was going to cite DC. The fight sequences are so ridiculously kinetic and poorly choreographed that you just don't care. And because the stories have nothing at stake, you just don't care. And so, you think about BVS Dodge and the end of that where they're fighting fucking Doomsday. And you got Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman fighting Doomsday. You don't care.
And
in this one, you got these fights about people, they're not even, they're not real, but you know what I mean? Like, to say what you're saying, like a fucking Incredibles movie, and it's just so much more to get into there, to be entertained, and you're never going, oh, this is too blary and noisy and annoying, and you know.
Yep. I love it. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I knew you were going to say something. Lost your train of thought. I apologize for that.
What were we just talking about? Oh, I was gonna say I'm excited to see. I want to watch Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol now to see if
Good point.
if that good choreography of action extends to his live action work as well.
Yeah, I just don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it will.
I'm
but,
intrigued to see.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
we maybe end up watching that movie at some point.
Right, if we ever get to that franchise.
We might.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
It's on the docket.
I mean, sure, someday.
Someday, if we choose to accept it.
Oh, yep. All right. Good one. All right. What do you give The Incredibles? 2.
I'm giving it 4 stars. Again, really not 5. Really because of the length. Too long.
It's way too long.
Really too long.
This one felt long to me. I'm gonna give it 4 as well. And to me, it was between a 3 and a 4. I'm gonna go with the 4. And one of the reasons for that is a listener asked us last week what movies that don't have sequels deserve sequels. And holy fuck, before this movie's existence, was there no better example than The Incredibles? This
true.
is a set of character dynamics that could work in a series of tens of movies.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Who's your LVP?
My LVP in this film is probably somebody. I'll just go with Edna again.
That's mine. That's mine.
You know what? As much as I'll say also, as much as I love Jonathan Banks. That character didn't particularly work for me either.
He's all right. He's barely in it, but yeah.
No, I know.
You're right. They got Jonathan Banks. He's got a great voice. They could have used him more.
Yeah. Funny though that all the Saul cast.
Yeah. Where's Michael McKean?
Yeah, and Rhea Seehorn.
I like to see her. Yeah. So we both give it 4 stars. Rank them.
Now, I like the first one more.
I like the second one more.
I knew you were going to say that, and I think it's valid.
No. Yeah, I think it's a stronger movie, and I would easily watch both again, but this is the one I would watch first if I had to just pick one or whatever. I think it's great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So all I got is a quickie on the something with the.
All right.
Phil Lamar is the voice of Crushour and Electrix.
He's the electric superhero in this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really interesting.
He was on Mad TV back in the day.
Yeah, he had 1 billion voice credits in cartoons, so I just wrote a few of them down. He's played Green Lantern in Justice League. He's played Maxie Zeus.
Great
Batman.
character.
Yeah, he is a great character. I agree. I don't think a lot of people know that character. That'd be a neat one to bring into a Batman movie. Actually.
That's what I want. I would like have a Batman movie where your two villains are like Maxie Zeus and Zsasz.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, he made a brief appearance.
Yeah, I
in
know.
only in Batman Begins, but yeah, I that or like Black Mask. I like
Or how about
Maxie Zeus.
Amygdala?
I think he was in Batman and Robin.
Oh,
But he was called Bane.
it's a fair point.
Yeah. And also, Phil Lamar was a spectacular Spider-Man playing Ricochet, and in Wolverine and the X-Men, he played Gambit and Boulevard Trask.
Gambit.
Yeah, in an X-Men.
Phil Lamar can do a fucking Cajun accent.
I guess. He's a voice actor, dude. Look him up. He's got a million things. Now, live, he was in Spider-Man 2 as a train passenger in the subway sequence.
Oh, sure, that scene
Great,
where
great.
Sam Raimi was trying to convince us that Spider-Man is Jesus.
Well, that's a great scene, though, dude.
I know, I'm joking.
Oh, it's great. And on a side note, Phil Lamar, you might know this was amazing, and I only got it because I did a little deep digging here. Not really, I just read further down the page. That is Marvin from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
I don't even have an opinion.
I knew that.
I did not. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
he's also the voice of Hermes on Futurama, and also he's the voice of Samurai Jack.
There you go.
Oh, you're right, though. Over 400 credits on IMDb.
I mean, I could have gone through a few pens and pads to write them, but I didn't think anyone wanted to hear that.
Okay.
All right. The guy who played Reflux, really stupid character in this movie. The Incredibles 2. The guy who vomits lava.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty dumb. That's an actor named Paul Eiding. And he is also a voice actor. He was in Throne of Atlantis Justice League as Captain. Fascinating character. And in Superman versus the Elite, he played Jonathan Kent.
Oh, the Kevin Costner role.
That's right. And last but not least, this one was a
Holy
little...
shit, he's the fucking Colonel in the Metal Gear Solid games. Snake, listen. I need you to,
That's for our video game.
navigate Shadow Moses Island, all right? If you need to save your game, call Mei Ling on the other frequency.
Paul Eiding.
That's my favorite thing I've ever done on this podcast.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good, dude.
All right, what's next?
I know you're still laughing, so oof. That was a good one.
Well,
That
any
little
other
deer bark.
superheroes?
Yeah, one more. Isabella Rossellini was in a sci-fi movie series with 2 episodes from 2009 playing Dr. Bella Lithia in a little ditty called The Phantom.
Two episodes?
You're still laughing at that joke.
No,
right?
I'm thinking,
I love
what's
it.
2 episodes?
Yeah, well, I thought you'd tell me. The Phantom,
I
the
don't
comic
recall
book.
this.
It was up originally on the Movie Network and then went to
The
Sci-Fi.
Movie Network? What's that?
Yeah, The Phantom, live action.
All right, who played the Phantom?
Oh, I'd have to look that up. It looked pretty bad.
Was it Billy Zane?
I wish. I'm looking it up because now you asked it and it's too hard to,
The Phantom? You sure
Yeah,
you're
what?
not talking about Phantoms with Ben Affleck?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I know what I'm fucking talking about because I read it thoroughly and I was rather surprised that they actually had a TV show. I'm getting there. Why don't you read some fan mail?
I'm going to need you to hurry up on this.
Well, why don't you get this some fan
Wait, I
mail?
found it.
Oh,
The
okay.
Phantom. Here it was. It was
Nice.
2 hours and 50 minutes. Two episodes just strung together as a movie, I think. And looks like a fellow named Ryan Carnes was the Phantom. And Hey, it was written by the Nauf guys, the father and son Nauf. They also created Carnival and wrote a little Iron Man for Marvel Comics.
Oh.
And there you go. There's a Phantom thing. Good catch.
All right.
I
Thank you.
have no memory of this.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Yeah.